off in that mesh, and Fogolin with a decided advantage. Danny Gare feeling that Lewis had been extra rough with Ramsey, but it really was a clean check on the good play by Ramsey to get the offside pass rather than the icing call. And Gare thinking it was a dirty check going after Lewis, and Ramsey is on his feet with help from trainer Frank Christie. Meanwhile, the linesmen separating Fogolin and Dave Lewis and having a hard time with it. Ray Ramsey, a scrappy, hard-working hockey player, and it's a shame that he's hurt, but Lewis just gave him a good, clean, hard body check. The puck was in play.
I want you to watch it on your home screen, and you be the judge on this. It's Dave Lewis along with Craig Ramsey. Now, Ramsey is in between, all right? He's the man with the helmet. Let's watch him go to the board.
He's trying to keep the puck alive here, George, and that was a brave play by him. And a good, clean body check by Lewis.
It was no harder, Tim, not nearly as hard, for example, as some of the shots that Nystrom took in Game 2 here into the boards where he was trying to keep it alive. That's what makes Ramsey such a great player, is that he's the kind of guy who just won't let go. Now, Fogolin will not let go of Dave Lewis. Lewis had his skate tied up in the net. I didn't mean to step on you when I said pull him off, but you could see that Lewis's skate was caught up in the meshing. And first Gare gave him a shove, and then from behind came Lee Fogolin, and Fogolin's still getting his shots in there on Dave Lewis. And Dave Lewis is just not, well, you know Dave Lewis, he's not a fighter. Although I think Louis is really more than miffed about this one because he feels that he was tied up in the mesh and couldn't get free.
And now Fogolin is tangled up in the net as Dave finally got him turned around, and Fogolin was on the bottom. For a time, it was Lewis on the bottom. And Dave Lewis will go to the dressing room here with 1:40 left in this first period. Fogolin is now up on his feet. You know, it's hard to get annoyed at Danny Gare because he is such a great little competitor. He saw his teammate hurt. He went over there and took a shot at Lewis. Technically speaking, he shouldn't have done it, but he was sticking up for his teammate, whether or not Lewis's check was clean or not. And Gare was the guy who really got all of that going. Fogolin then got a piece of Lewis, and away they went. So we'll see how Andy Van Hellemond sorts things out. It looks like Lewis defended himself rather well against Lee Fogolin.
Fogolin, as you can see, has a pretty good gash over his nose, so apparently Dave Lewis did defend himself well despite the fact that he was tied up in the meshing. Now, Andy Van Hellemond's going to have the task of sorting out what kind of penalties he wants to call. Fogolin will also go off the ice. There's no point in him sitting in the penalty box. He'll obviously get at least 5 minutes. The important thing, Tim, is that Andy Van Hellemond did not raise